Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to the next episode review of Mission Yozakura Family, episode 7. And a funny episode, but we got introduced with a couple more newer characters, right? So, so Tayo, who's on this, who's chatting with, he could say his new younger brother, which is Nano. He's the big hulking one with the bucket over his head, right? With the plank drawn face, right? So because he's on a mission, just here on this laboratory, get this deadly bioweapon, which is like a pill, but swallows it, ends up falling asleep, right? And he was doing this while Taya was like holding a push-up position while carrying this 500-pound weight on his back. Well, it shows he is getting a bit stronger if he can hold that out on his back for quite a bit of time, you know. But then, but he ends up falling. But Nano ends up falling asleep, and so he has to go and get him. And then we get these two new characters. Which they're also spies though. But the difference is though, these spies work for the government, while the Yozakura family, they're freelance spies. But these two here. One is called Uga, the blonde one with glasses, and the other one is called Shui, who carries a sword. And while Uga carries this kind of like not like a ball and chain, but there's a weight at the end of the chain. But these spies work for the government. They're called Hibinu. Mispronounced the name again. So, but he goes and tries to help. He finds. Well, he runs into them, right? And say, hey, we're spies too, you know. Let's work together. But then when he finds Nano, their mission also is to eliminate him because he was listening on their conversation, because they were listening on his conversation with Nano, right? And since they're supposed to neutralize the lab and anybody in it, including him. So, of course, Taya wouldn't allow that, and he wants to use his taser gun, but Shui uses his sword and just goes really fast and just cuts it. He ends up also cutting Tayo as well, almost killing him. But since Nano finally woke up, he's like, oh hey, it's okay, I'm awake now. So they give him some stuff to help his wounds. So, and then we have the next time when he wakes up, He wakes up. He's tied up, hung up while tied up with a freaking one of those ball gags in his mouth. Like, jeez, because the crazy older brother, has him tied up like this over candles lit under him. But he explains to him about these spies, as just. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because since he would have let that cop, try to kill him, or that crazy needle assassin girl would do what he wants to. I'm surprised he wouldn't tell the spies to kill him as well, since that way he wouldn't get his hands dirty, right? So, and so he tells about this, and so he finally does let him go though. But he said he wants to get stronger because since he's too weak Sorry. But, so he's going to try trailing them. Especially the leader, Shui, with the sword, right? I mean, if we get a series of montages where he's following them, right? He's following him, basically. And using his sword, basically always cutting his clothes up, stripping him naked, right? And it's like calling him the pervert, Like, he's naked in public, right? To be arrested by the cops. Or when they're standing on top of on a side of a building, like they're eating lunch. The two spy guys, the government spies, you say, they're eating lunch while standing on the side of a building. Well, you know how the building is a glass building, and they're literally standing outside on the glass panels outside the building of this very tall building, while Tayo has to hold on to this thing that this gadget he's holding on, right? And of course. I mean, it's after a series of montages of him getting stripped naked every single time he tries to go after him, trailing him, And there's a one point where the older brother is chopping up lettuce, right? He's using him as a cutting board while naked, and Nano, being the good brother, gives him a pounding, And even though he says, that, Tayo says, hey, I'm sorry, I'm just still weak, and Nano's saying, like, hey, it's all cool, you're my big brother, it's all right, you don't need to push yourself too hard. And then he gets an idea when they mention the word habits, right? So he gets an idea where he meets him in a cemetery this time. And so this time when Shui draws a sword, this time Tayo manages to catch him this time. Well, he does get cut still, though, but he manages to hold on to him because he tells them, he says, yeah, I can see you always strike in the center first. So yeah, you always strike in the center, so that's why I see why I can able to catch you like this. And he does throw him. He does like a overhead throw, but the guy doesn't go down. He lands on his feet though. But he does throw him, and sure, of course, the guy doesn't act surprised though. Well, he doesn't give the face expression of being surprised though, because he has like same expression the whole entire time. It doesn't change. But he said, "Oh, he caught it right." So then afterwards, he's like, maybe I'll change my perspective on you, maybe. So, but yeah, it was like going like spy versus spy or spy on. Well, then as they say, spy on spy, But it's still over the top. It's like just like because now and the paper. Because the reason why he was doing that all the time because like the older brother was telling, hey. The whole Yokozo family will be tarnished, so why don't you go out there and try to restore our name, right? Which is why the part reason he was doing that, though. Then afterwards, the paper came out at the end here. It just shows Tayo running naked. It's like, this is all just a misunderstanding. Oh, boy. Yeah, episode 7, it was funny, over the top as usual. But First with these new characters, like with the crazy assassin with the needles, and the older brother's friend who's who's a cop, and then these two government spies. A lot more piling on, But episode 7, it was fun nonetheless. Though it was still fun too, and it's craziness too. So, but hey, that's what the show is to be, Is but like I said, if it was, what would be better? To me, Spy Family is still better though. Better characters I enjoyed, but still nonetheless though, as a pretty good series as well. But as goes for Spies though, still Spy Family still is the best still. But regardless, so episode 7 of Mission Yozakura Family was still fun nonetheless though. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. We'll see you next time. Later.